They say that you can't get a perfect power station, and we're still not there yet, but this Bluetti Elite 300 comes pretty darn close. And just wait until you see the testing on this. This has surged to the top as one of my most favorite power stations ever. Why, you may ask? Well, spoiler alert, over 3,000 watt hours in a package that's that small, a massive 2400 watt inverter that can actually do more than that, and they did it. A high output 12 volt outlet, and that's just naming a few things. There is so much more that makes this thing awesome. Let's unbox this Bluetti Elite 300. Got a packet of documentation, and in this box here, got a little grounding screw, and a nice heavy-duty AC charging cable. And here's the power station itself. What immediately jumps out to me is how small this is, because look, this has a 2,400 watt inverter, but over 3,000 watt hours in battery capacity. So check this out. This unit over here has a 2,400 watt inverter, just like this Bluetti. However, this power station here only has a 2,048 watt hour battery, and this one is 50% bigger, over 3,000 watt hours. The size difference is just insane. So look how much shorter the Bluetti is. Look how much narrower the Bluetti is, left to right. And you can see they're nearly the same depth, front to back as well. So somehow Bluetti's managed to pack more into this smaller package than we've got in this package. So here on the front, we've got a nice 30 amp outlet, 4 20 amp outlets. Really nice to see the 140 watt power delivery port plus a 100 watt power delivery port, and then 2 fast charge type A ports in the middle. Here is our DC input, rated 12 to 60 volts, 22 amps, up to 1200 watts. And that's a standard XT60 connector. And then all of you rejoice, look at this, 12 volt, 30 amp outlet right here, XT90. You'll love to see those high amp 12 volt outlets. And then of course you've got your standard 12 volt 10 amp cigarette style plug here. On the right side here, we've got our grounding port and our AC charger input right here, plus a resettable 20 amp circuit breaker. There is nothing on the back besides ventilation, and absolutely nothing on the left side. Here in the front are your control buttons. Let's go ahead and power it on, see what state of charge it's shipped with. Looks like it shipped at 36%. I plugged this watt meter in while the AC inverter is enabled, and you can see it does produce a full 120 volts. All right, let's do an AC battery discharge test on this Elite 300, and we'll see how efficient the inverter is and how much of the rated battery capacity we are able to pull from it. Let's go ahead and turn the AC on. I've got this little kilowatt meter here that will be measuring this for us, and you can see we're pulling really close to 600 watts, which is about a 0.2 C rate of discharge on this. So we'll go ahead and put this on kilowatt hours and put you guys on time lapse. Battery capacity test complete. As you saw in the time lapse, we got 2,810 watt hours out of a possible 3,014.4 watt hours. That means this inverter was a whopping 93% efficient. Very impressive results, Bluetti. And now we are going to test and see how long it takes to charge from 0 to 100% using the AC wall charger. You can see in the app here we have it set to turbo because we want to go as fast as possible. Go ahead and plug this in. And we're starting to charge. Go ahead and start the stopwatch. And it looks like we've actually settled in at about 1,800, just shy of 1,800 watts input. Battery recharge time test complete. And as best I could see on the time lapse, it took like 2 hours and 8 minutes-ish to go from 0 to 100%. For a battery that's over 3,000 watt hours, that is very impressive performance. All right, heavy load testing on the Elite 300. Got a space heater, a heat gun. We should be able to produce 2,400 watts easily with this unit. Let's go ahead and just start by cranking this heat all the way up to high. Voltage holding steady. That heater's pulling about 1,500 watts. Let's go ahead and fire up the heat gun here. What I'm going to do is kind of hold you here, and that way you can see as I raise the temperature on this heat gun, you can kind of see how it affects. There's 2,400 watts right there. 26. 2,600, still holding steady. Very impressive. 2500. Still very close to 26. 24. Our voltage is still holding steady. There's 22 now. Alright, let's go ahead and give a little more. Oh, 2500, 26. Still holding steady on the voltage. Very impressive. Let's push a little harder. See what happens. A few more degrees here. 25, 24. Go ahead and give it a few more. Almost 27. 2800, 2700, 26, 27. Still holding steady. Wow. Voltage still being solid over here. 2900. All right, let's push it more. Almost 3000 right there. Let's keep going. There it went. Overload. Knocking on the door of 3000 watts. So I want to try that one more time. Okay, so that's, borderline almost max, not quite. 200 watts more to go. This is going to add another 800-ish watts. Let's watch it. 3000 watts. 3200. Still running. 119 volts, 2800, 2700. This is just incredible. 2700 watts, holding steady. 2900, almost 3000 watts. What a robust inverter. This is crazy. Okay, I'm going to push a little harder again. Turn the heat up a little bit. 2900, let's see if we can get over 3000, 3100. And there it shut down again. Wow, wow, wow. Bluetti, you are knocking this out of the park. I just love it when power station companies claim one thing and then they deliver something above and beyond without any fanfare or anything. And as you saw, it does not compromise on voltage or anything. It is just rock solid until it decides that it's had enough, and then it just shuts down. It doesn't start lowering voltages or anything like that. Welcome to the office. I've got 3 4K gaming monitors here. I've got a 4K gaming benchmark running on one of them. And we're going to test the UPS performance of this Bluetti Elite 300. So if you take a look, I've got a white cord plugged into that outlet. It comes down here to this switch point. Then out of this, we've got it going into the Bluetti, and then coming out of the Bluetti, we've got this black cord that goes back into that mess of cords that powers everything else. You can see that computer is drawing some juice, almost 600 watts coming out right now. So I'm going to hold this where you can see, and we're going to kill power to the Bluetti in 3, 2, 1. Everything stayed running. We have no input power at all. Let's test it to go in the other direction. Turning power on, 3, 2, 1. Heard the relay click. We've got power going back in, and the benchmark's still running. And just for fun, one more time, turning power off, 3, 2, 1. Yep. So this Bluetti Elite 300 has a fantastic UPS. Everyone's favorite test, heavy surge testing and the laundry test. The reason this is such a good test is because to get this dryer with these heavy wet clothes spinning from 0 to 100% just requires a massive amount of surge. This is a gas dryer, so it burns natural gas to create the heat, but does use 120 volt power to tumble the clothes and blow air through them, etc. Now, many a power station has been defeated by this test. However, all the power stations that have successfully started this dryer have been 2,400 watts or larger. So I'm optimistic for this power station. Let's give it a test. For this test, I'm going to train you guys on the screen of the Bluetti, but also listen very carefully to how the dryer sounds when it tries to start. 3, 2, 1. Oh man, that was epic. So could you hear when that started? Literally, it sounded like it was starting on grid power. I did not hear it struggle or anything. It sounded just like that dryer started up on grid power. So this Bluetti has incredible surge power. So the washer's on spin mode here, and the dryer's still running, and you can see we're only pulling just under 800 watts. So this power station would easily be able to run multiples of batches of wash. However, you would only do drying if you had a gas dryer. This does not output 240 volt power, so you cannot use it for an electric dryer. I want to make a case for how you could get a quote-unquote perfect power station by combining the strengths of 3 power stations. And this is 100% me sharing an opinion. Bluetti did not ask me or tell me to say this at all. I've got a stack of 3 Bluetti power stations. Obviously, the Elite 300 here in the middle. We've got the Apex 300 on the bottom, and then a slightly outdated one. This is the AC2P, but they have new versions of something that's very similar to this, and that's the point. I submit to you that if you have these 3 power stations, you have the perfect power station setup. Think about it for a minute. As we've been discussing, the Elite 300 is probably the first one to get out of the collection. Really good battery capacity, really decent output. We've got DC outputs as well. Pretty darn portable, all things considered, but not ultra portable and does not have 240 volt output. So when you need the ultra portability factor, something to just grab and carry with you and recharge your laptop or, drone batteries or whatever, something of this size is the way to go. I mean, this thing is just so light, so portable, perfect for that kind of situation. It's not going to have the AC output that this has, but you don't necessarily need more than 300 watts usually to, charge a average laptop. And any of your USB-C things, compressor coolers for day trips, etc., this is perfect for. And then you've got the big guns, the Apex 300. And while you can kit this out with all kinds of cool accessories for DC and what have you, I would say get the Elite 300 for your DC outputs, especially where it's got the high output 30 amp plug here, and use the Apex 300 strictly as your heavy AC load power backup solution. This can be scaled for full house backup. It can be expanded massively, but even just on its own, the way I have it, it can output 240 volts of power and comes standard with one of these 50 amp plugs. Now, one of these units by itself will not output 50 amps, and you can learn more about the capabilities of this power station in my full review that I'll leave linked down in the description so you can check it out. But this solves the 240 volt mega load output that this falls short on. This is tremendously more portable and has built-in DC outputs that does not allow, and this is significantly lighter and smaller, easier to carry around than any of these. And so combining them all as a full set, I think literally checks every single box of need that you have for portable power stations. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments and tell me why you think this 3 power station solution here would not equal as close to perfection as you could possibly get. So here on top of the power station, it gives you a QR code to scan to get the app. And Bluetti's app has really gotten refined in recent days. So you can see we've got DC input, AC output, state of charge. You've got a master power off button here. You can toggle your DC as well as your AC off and on from the app, which is very cool. You have your estimated charge time or discharge time remaining, and some green energy type information here at the bottom. If we go to energy statistics, you can kind of get a graph over time of how much power you've generated. Coming up here to this little eye, we can see any kind of alarm state. And then coming up here to the little gear icon, that takes us to the settings. UPS mode here, or working mode. This is very cool. So we can do a standard UPS mode, and that is where if it loses power, it immediately switches over to battery power. You can do PV priority UPS, so it will prioritize charging from solar power before it pulls any power from the wall. Or you can do time of use UPS, so go ahead and utilize the power in the battery during, peak times and then charge during off-peak times. And then you can write a custom, set of rules if you want, which is very cool. You can enable the extreme weather alert, so if you get an extreme weather alert where you're located, it will automatically charge from the grid fully. Timer switch is pretty cool. You can come in and configure when the AC is going to turn off, when the DC is going to turn off at a specific time. Charging mode, this is pretty cool. So you can change from standard to silent to turbo. So I'm charging in standard mode right now, and you can see we're charging up just about 1200 watts. Let's change it to silent mode, and you can see that drops us down to about 800 watts. And then if we go to turbo mode, that takes us up to 1600 watts. Powerlifting mode, I would highly recommend leaving that off. That essentially will cause this inverter to lower its voltage if you approach or exceed its rated output. So if you go over 2,400 watts, it will lower the voltage to continue to run stuff as opposed to just shutting off. That's bad for your sensitive electronics, so I would recommend leaving that off. Eco here, you can turn these on. By default, they're off. That way, after a certain period of time of the power station recognizing that there's no power being drawn from the DC outlet or AC outlet, it will power the unit off. Definitely do not have this on if you're trying to run a fridge. And you can customize the screen timeout time. I love my screens to never timeout, so it's on never. You can go ahead and enable a child lock if you want. You can upgrade the firmware from here. And then you have advanced settings. You can change your max input current from the grid. I've maxed mine out at 15 amps. In order to change that, you have to enable Pro mode, and you have to accept the disclaimer here. To get into Pro mode, you've got to just put in the password of all the 8s, and then that allows you to adjust things. It does not ship to you at 15 amps. I changed mine because I wanted to have as much power as I possibly could if I needed to top this off ASAP. The reason this is risky, though, is you could start popping breakers and overloading circuits easily. You can change your output frequency. System switch recovery, this is pretty cool. So you can enable this, and if the battery dies completely, and let's say you had both the DC on and the AC on like I have right now, then when this gets up to 5% state of charge again, it will automatically re-enable those last used settings. So the AC will automatically turn on, and so the DC. So that's a very handy feature to have. Grid self-adaptation. This is very handy here because if you have, say, a generator that is somewhat unstable in what kind of power it produces, you can adjust the settings so that this power station is more willing to accept, rough or dirty power. So that's very handy, especially in, emergency situations. DC input source, PV. So you can tell it if you're going to use PV input, then you can turn on high current mode if you want, or you can go to others that will lower how much power it pulls from the DC side, so you don't, blow fuses and stuff in your car, etc. Sleep mode, you can enable or disable this, and it's triggered by a state of charge. So if I enable it right now, it would hit 20% state of charge and then go into sleep mode. And then last but not least, you can set a charge limit. So you can program it to charge all the way to 100, or you can charge to, anything really in between. All the way down to 80% is the bottom right there. And that's the app in a nutshell with the Elite 300. So yeah, this is going as my top recommendation for someone that's just starting out in the world of portable power stations, because it literally checks every box with the exception of 240 volt split phase output, as well as expandability. But for a grab and go, just all around helpful power station for camping, weekend adventures, emergency home power backup, this literally checks all of those boxes. And this has more capacity than that power station, It's almost the same capacity as that power station, and is 3/4 the size of that power station in terms of battery capacity. And it's just this little guy sitting here on top of the pyramid. Isn't it crazy? So I'll have links to the Bluetti Elite 300 down in the description, as well as any coupon codes I can get for you, so be sure and check that out. Trust me when I say you will be very happy to have this as part of your setup. And no, Bluetti didn't pay me to say that. That's just me 100% being totally impressed by this offering. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hype. Those 5 free things make a tremendous difference in the YouTube algorithm for small YouTube channels like mine. I really appreciate your help with that. And I'll continue to bring this free content your direction. We've always got more epic content coming. Do you guys have any fun ideas for what we could do with the pyramid of power? We got the tower of power going. Let's do something fun with the pyramid of power. All right, y'all stay safe, and we'll catch y'all next time.